Alright guys, welcome back to Cookie Clicker with Lone Debater 7. We are here right after our first prestige. Yeah, we're just upgrading buildings at the moment. Trying to get as many unlocks as possible. This little guy sacrificed some cookies. Sacrifice 100, that's fine. So we need 100 grandmas for the next one. And then you can set these auras. So what we're gonna want is to get the late tier buildings, and that would help us the most. So we'll wait until those are unlocked. So if we just use the macro for a second here, get a little bit built up, 20 billion. What can we build? Shipments. So we're doing okay. We're already almost to 1 billion and only like just barely started. Get kittens. Now we're over 1 billion a second. I would take that as a win. We're not very far in after the prestige. I didn't really do anything in between this and the last recording or the last episode. So I'm gonna just save up for an alchemy lab here, buy it, see what it gives us, and then we're gonna see about trying to get some of these upgrades, because that will greatly increase our production and everything like that. So I'm just gonna splash around for a minute, give us a little bit of money, so we can double our shipments, our banks, shipments. Kittens are 90 trillion, quadrillion, and then quintillion. Okay, that's fine, not too bad. $100 grandmas. Yeah, buddy. We'll sacrifice them, and then we'll buy another 100 grandmas. Just cause why not? 100 farms. So we're up to 2 billion now. So this feels a lot faster, if I do say so myself. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna let that passively go. Gotta take care of some work on the other screen. Not a big deal. Don't worry about it. I just, yeah. We don't have to run the macro the whole time. It would be good to get a golden cookie, however, because I think that will activate all the lucky boosts, like the 7 times more often and those kind of multipliers and whatever. So hopefully we get a golden cookie spawn here pretty quick. That's the hope. We'll see what actually happens. Anyway, we are just kind of hanging out and getting our work done with Cookie Clicker. So I hope you are enjoying it thus far. And yeah, we are getting it done, son. Anyway, let's see. We can buy, good, 10 shipments. Okay, so we probably should start getting some of these upgrades. I feel like those are going to be worth the most to us, so I'm just going to let this generate for a few seconds, and then I'm going to buy a bunch of upgrades, and it should make things a lot faster. So 130, sure, 50, 50, 51, and 70, so we'll get that pretty quick. Okay, 70 for the banks, 100. Just going through buying these upgrades. Like, yeah, it's not super significant right now, but it will be shortly. Like, we haven't built a whole bunch of buildings, but we're still at 2 billion cookies per second, I will say. So we're like 2,000% of what we were when we prestiged for the first time. But you also gotta factor in we haven't even been playing for 10 minutes since our first prestige. So I think we're doing pretty good as far as progress is concerned. I think we're gonna go for another alchemy lab. And if we get lucky and get a good golden cookie, we can maybe get 2 portals and time machines. Because as I recall, once you get 1 building of the next tier down, so like from alchemy labs to portals, it becomes a lot easier to like get more portals, right? I think the production scales in such a way it becomes easier. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get 1 trillion and just buy a portal. That way it's out of the way, and see, because obviously in the late game, none of these buildings, not even the portals, really matter. All that matters is your prisms, chance makers, antimatter condensers, kind of, and your fractal machines. So, like, all the rest of this stuff doesn't really matter. The cursors can get good if you have a lot of other buildings, so that's kind of the caveat. You have to spend a lot of cookies on, you know, the buildings that give you no production, realistically. But if you're okay with doing that, you can be just fine with Cookie Clicker. Anyway, that's kind of how I see it. Really enjoying it so far. I haven't really played Cookie Clicker in a long time, and I mean a long time. There's another one. Cool. Woo. 20 of those. Give us more grandma. Yeah. Lucky day. That's what we need. That gives you increased golden cookie drops, I think, or spawns. Or this one. So this one's 77 billion. We want to buy that. We're going to save for that, because 77 billion takes like no time. We're almost at 3 billion cookies per second on our generation, so I'm fairly happy with that. We haven't even hit the good buildings yet, so I mean, we're just going to increase from here. Like, these are all the garbage tier buildings, and they're giving us 3 billion at the moment. And we have maybe half as much as what we had the last time through when it comes to the costs or the amount of cookies we spent so far. But, yeah, we're just kind of clicking through. We're probably going to save for an alchemy lab or a portal, depending on if we get a good golden cookie, and just hold off here for a minute. We might buy 10 more temples. How much is 10 temples? I can do that now. We're doing the 10 temples just to get the next little tier. So this would be good to get, and then these kitten ones are good to get. So I did get overseers, but managers is the next tier, 900 quintillion or whatever, some ungodly amount. Costs a lot, but it does really scale your cookie production, so it's worth doing, I think. We could sacrifice 100 farms and 100 mines. Sure, why not? And then we'll just buy 100 of each to keep our building count up for a click bonus. But yeah, I mean, trying to optimize as much as possible. Once we get the lower tier auras, we might put some in there. I mean, I could put the like clicking one inside, I think is decent. So kittens are 5% more effective. That might be decent. Clicking's 5%. These are garbage, garbage, garbage. Let's try this one and see what it does. 3.4 to 3.5. So only 100 million, but still not bad. We got another couple alchemy labs busted out. So I think we're going to go to 10 alchemy labs. Then we'll do our portal. Then we'll look at some more upgrades, things like that. And hopefully we can get everything cranking along so we can get back up to fractal machines by the end of this little session. That's kind of my goal with it. If we can do that, fantastic. If not, I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. Either way, we are back over 170 billion cookies. Still have a long ways to go to get back up to our production levels that we're used to, but we'll get there. Like, I'm not too concerned. You just gotta be patient, I believe. So hopefully we get taken care of on that. You know, we would like to be able to get some fractal machines before we stop playing today. That's my goal anyway. Sorry, kind of got lost there for a minute. 263 for our last alchemy lab, then we'll save up 1 trillion, buy a portal, and see how that does to our cookie production. Maybe we'll be able to get to time machines, maybe not, whatever. We'll kind of just see what happens. So 10 alchemy labs, 1 trillion for a portal, but now we've got a bunch of like 750. That's not really worth it. I mean, actually, I guess that kind of is, because that'd be 129 million, so it's not a lot, or it won't be a lot down the road, but for where we're at right now, that's actually pretty good. Sure.